This is going to be a tutorial on how to gather statistics from a website, import it into a Google Sheets document, and then make a histogram as well as calculating the mean, median, and the mode. So you're going to go to the link provided or type in nhl.com/stats/teams, and you will get a summary of the stats for the teams in the NHL. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to export it. So here on the right is an export button, and depending on what kind of computer programs you have on your computer or Chromebook or iPad, you should be able to open that file. It's going to open it in Excel for me, and we could do all of these graphing and calculations in Excel, but just in case not everybody has Excel, we're going to copy some data into Google Sheets and use Google Sheets. So we are going to copy the games for column. So if you just click on the top of that column, it'll highlight everything, and do a Control C, or you can do a usually it's an edit copy. Right there's my copy, or Control C. Then go to a Google Sheets, open up a spreadsheet, and then you can just click on the column and paste it there. Control V or edit paste. So once you have your data in there, then you're going to highlight from the 44 down to the bottom. You want to make sure the GF is not highlighted, and you're going to go to Insert Chart, and it's going to make a histogram, which is like a bar graph, but a histogram is used for data that is not in categories, but data based on numerical values. And if it's not recognizing it as a histogram, then if it's a different type of chart, then you're going to click on here, and hopefully it'll suggest a histogram. You'll see there's other suggestions there. Or if you keep scrolling down, you will find histogram under other, to the very bottom, and then there's your histogram chart. Now, luckily it's labeled everything proper for us, but if we go to customize, we can change the scale. It's called bucket size on here, and that just means how large we want our intervals to be on the bottom. So I'm going to change it to 5, and then that looks a little bit more spread out, right? If you don't want it to be too small of a value, bucket size of 2, it looks a little too much. Bucket size of 10, too big. 5 is a nice value where we get a decent amount of bars. And what this means is between 15 and 20 goals, there are 2 teams that so far this season have scored between 15 and 20 goals. And then between 20 and 25 goals, we have 10 teams. So that's what a histogram does. This y-axis is the frequency, or in this case the number of teams that score in these ranges. So it's useful. Instead of having a scatter plot, we can see where the majority of the teams lie. So we can see between 20 and 30, the majority of the teams have that many goals. So we have our histogram, and now we are going to create or we're going to calculate the average, the mean, median, and the mode. So you'll pick a cell, you'll type in equals. The computer won't recognize average or mean. You're going to type in average, bracket, and then you're going to select the data, drag down. Take note of how far you're going down for future calculations. So we made it down to 32, end bracket, enter. And there we go, we have an average of 28. You do want to label these things because now that it's calculated, you can't see that that's the average right now. So we'll put mean or average as a label. Then we have median. So that one is straightforward. It's equals median bracket, and we can type our cells A2 colon, it went down to A32 bracket. There's a median of 26, and then a mode equals MODE A2 colon A36 bracket. So mean of 28, median of 26, mode of 35, and that just means the most teams had 35 goals exactly, which is kind of a funny answer if you look at this graph, noticing that this is our most high frequency, but that just means there's a bunch of teams with goals in that range, where a mode of 35 means we actually had multiple teams with the exact same number of goals. A median of 26, meaning half the teams had goals less than 26 and half of the teams had goals higher than 26, and then an average of 28, where we added up all the goals divided by how many teams there were, and we averaged out to 28.2. So these are all measures of central tendency. You can see the mean and the median are quite close. The mode is a value that is not always similar to your mean and your median.